So hello everybody and welcome back to another YouTube video, back with another performance. Tonight we did a race with MSC F1 Racing. It was definitely a great one to watch, that's for sure. It was great qualifying action, so was the race. There was some may or may not be cheating involved. Watch ahead to see what happened or happened not, as we're just waiting for that qualifying session to begin in a little bit. Is going to be, if you want to watch this live every Monday on my Twitch channel, link in the description, you can do that as well. But let's go and let's begin with the race now. There we go, as we just have a look at the pit lane for the moment. Just waiting for someone to come out on track. Every single one of them. Tony Häkkinen in the Williams with the fastest time, 1:31.4. And there you go, we see a car out on track. That is an AlphaTauri, I think, one of the last garages leaving. And that is Johnny Red. There you go, that's your first one out on track. Car number 34 it is. We see finally some action on track. And how fast can they go, as we just try and get some more data, every single one of them on that soft compound tire, of course. That's what you do in qualifying sessions, as others now leaving the garages as well. AR Tyler now out of the garage, as well as Tony Häkkinen, and there's Beton, Ellen Ninja, a lot of them, every single one now trying to get out of that garage and to do a lap in as soon as possible, of course. Put in their first laps in case there's yellow flags. There is some other issues towards the end of qualifying, but our man here, it is going to be Johnny, who's going to be the first one who started the qualifying session. So of course he's going to be the one to start first flying lap. Yeah, thank you so much. Really excited to be beginning, of course, as we're just into the qualifying session now. 15 minutes remaining, as no laps yet out on track, but everybody out, piling up. Every single one almost out on track, except for Kieran Nimble and I think, and it is Jonathan, and one more driver, that is Jezeboy, out on track. Other than that, every single one out on track to do a lap and to definitely show us for the track action that we're hearing. Right behind Johnny, it is Tyler out on track. Right behind them, it is not Adams, it is the other McLaren of Devil Rejected. Everyone else follows by, trying to begin in their laps. Okay, so Jezeboy got kicked for our disc error, but playing digital. I do not understand what you're trying to say, but anyways, we try and begin with the session as Johnny Red now has started their flying lap. Right behind them is AR Taylor, who's also on top to do the most. What does he do in the first sector? It's 25.1, 25.2 from AR Taylor. He's a bit slower than that. What about Johnny in the middle sector? As we try and have a look at other drivers behind as well, and I think right behind them it is the McLaren of Devil Rejected. So we try and have a look at that. How fast did they do in that first sector? If we have the data, 25.8. So Johnny Red at the moment looking quickest, and if I'm wrong, he was the one quickest, except for Tony, whose time we did not have in that time trial board. But of course we're told it was 1:31.4. It is fastest middle sector, but of course that's for the moment. If anyone else behind him could do even faster. As Johnny Red now just coming around the last few corners, of course, keeping it within the white line. I think they almost went wide, but not for the moment. It is still legal lap across the line. How fast is this? 1:32.7. What about Tyler? He goes up all 1:32.7, and Tony Hawken 1:31.8 for the first few laps, as Devil Rejected 35, and others also following behind as we try and catch up with every single one of them. is Nimble. Others with the AlphaTauri drivers as well, as Phoenix Gray goes P4, as Ninja P4 now, as everyone doing their laps, with Betten Urmadog 135.0, so it's mixed times from 131.8 to 135.1, slowest at the moment, as Adam Fleet P8 134.9, as we try and have a look at one of the drivers who are closest to that finish line, and it is Shane Bolin. He's currently coming across that final corner. How fast does he do? Cross the line, so he's just beginning his lap. I guess we did not see a time lap from him, and it is One Kidney Jim who's just invalidated their lap, as we try and have a look at Anur Hassan. They go P5 133.4. 133.4, and there's another McLaren right behind them. Do we see an improvement? And we do see an improvement from Adams 090, who goes P6 with 133.5. As we're trying to have a look at the other drivers behind as well, and I think those who have not had a lap time to themselves registered yet. There is an AlphaTauri driver. I wonder if they're improving. They're not improving. If everyone pretty much having done their first laps now into the pits, with Tony Häkkinen currently the fastest time of 131.4, as Nimble now goes P2 131.2. As we were just seeing drivers going into the pits, I was wondering that if they have a lap time on board. They're 132.1. What about Alan Ninja? They are also into the pits as well. Everyone pretty much in the pits except for the first few ones. The last four do not have a lap time on board, as we're now with One Kidney Jim, as we try and catch up with others if they have a lap time or not. Do we see someone improving from the bottom drivers, as everyone's pretty much now trying to pit? One who isn't, I think, is one of the Mercedes drivers, and it is Shane Bolin 134.3, but they're also not that quick, as it is a bit hard to catch. But I think One Kidney Jim is about to get to that finish line, and he does get to that finish line. 134.6, but on that medium compound tire, so only out of the 20s, only driver with medium tires on his car. And I think one of the McLaren drivers, that is Adams, into the pits, as we try and have a look with someone who is not going into pits, and that is Anur Hassan, who invalidates their lap. It is one of the Williams drivers who is, I think, on a flying lap, as we're just trying to catch up with them. That was Jonathan 133.4. They go P7. So Jezzaboy finally on an out lap, and he's currently going super wide to let others pass, of course, invalidating their own lap, but I think that would just be an out lap, so that doesn't really matter at the moment. But we're trying to have a look at and catch up with their teammate Nimble, but they're also into the pits now, as we try and catch up with everyone. Just 10 minutes remaining now in the session, as it is 131.8, still fastest. Nimble 132.1, 132.158. With in third place it is AR Taylor 132.7, 132.799 from Johnny, as we try and have a look at the drivers coming across those final laps. And it is Urma Dog coming into the pits, and we try and look at the Mercedes driver as well. I think they were going into the pits as well. Yes, they are, but there is a Ferrari, but I think that is Jezzaboy. There is not anyone on the flying laps. There is two people on flying laps, and Jonathan has invalidated their lap. What about One Kidney Jim? He's definitely going to be looking to improve, but into the pits again. Definitely not. Want to do more laps on those medium tires, of course, with only 9 minutes apart in the qualifying session. Of course, you want to be the quickest and be the fastest, as you see drivers beginning on their flying laps once again, as it is, I think, yes, it is Devil Rejected just beginning their flying lap right behind Johnny Red, who's also on their second stint on that brand new set of the soft compound tire. It should be. Okay, so one lap. The soft tire shows they've done one lap on this tire, so maybe it's not new. Either it's showing that out lap that they've done on their tire, or it is they are old tire that they used in that first run, of course, is 8 minutes remaining. So one more run could be possible from all these drivers. They could end up doing one more, of course. It's going to be exciting. We just have a look at them and we catch up with Johnny Red, who is also ahead of Devil Rejected, of course, as others are also just preparing to start their flying laps. It is Tyler who's just gone past the first sector and already invalidating their lap. Already lap has been invalidated by him. Tyler already not having the best sector. I think he just finished and couldn't continue that. As we're trying to have a look at Johnny again, he's a bit ahead of Devil Rejected, who's right behind them as well. As we try and have a look at Johnny Red's second lap and second try at that fastest lap time in. How fast does he go? He goes 1:32.1 and goes to third place. What about Devil? We try and catch up with them. How fast does he go across the finish line? He didn't improve, I guess. His lap time did not. I think he did improve. In fact, he was in the 1:35s and 1:34.9 it is, but didn't seem to be improving. As Jezzaboy goes P9 as you try and catch up with every single one of them who's doing, or in fact finishing their lap time. As Adam is also starting their lap. So anyone who's finishing their lap time, it is AR Taylor who invalidated their lap. So pretty much going to the pits and now come out when everyone is going to be on brand new tires. Is Hassan on those on and out lap to do so, and I think I see a Red Bull coming up to finish their lap, and it is going to be Beton. I think they just started their lap or either did not improve on their times. All 20 drivers have been hard to keep up with everyone, but we try and have a look at one of the improvements I think we saw. It was Dangerous Dave, but so was the Alpine driver, and now others behind just finishing their laps. As we try and have a look at, it is not Ninja, it is the other Mercedes driver, but I think they're on their flying lap. But one who is not on their flying lap is Daddy Cool across the last corner. How fast does he go? Goes P9 still. Did he improve? He did improve on his lap time, but I wonder if he improved on his did he improve it position wise? We try and catch up with one of the Williams drivers. It is, I think it is Tony, and he goes even more faster as we were just trying to catch up with him. Tony Häkkinen goes even more faster, 1:31.7.741. What about Nimble? He's coming into the pits. What about Jezzaboy? His teammate also comes into the pits. What about Alan Ninja? I think it is Alan Ninja across that final corner. Yes, it is Alan. How does he improve on his lap time? He does go P4 and improves over half a second on his previous lap time. And I think I see a McLaren, but he's not stopped. I thought he was stopped, but he was not, and he's coming into the pits. And what about Betson? I think he's also going to come into the pits, but he does not. Is he trying to have a look and improve his lap time? Across the line, he does improve his lap time, but stays P14. Right behind him is Anur Hassan. I think he's going into the pits. As we have an Alpine, I think, I wonder if they're starting their lap or finishing their lap time. And I see an AlphaTauri as well, but that's going to be them coming into the pits. It's now just 5 minutes remaining. Every single driver has had a lap time on board, except for CRN. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, but as you try and have a look at all these drivers do a lap. Tony just showing the pace, the performance that he has. That is definitely, he's living up to that expectation of him setting up the fastest lap time in those time trial events and do the best performance and show us what he has. So it is all these drivers once again starting their flying laps. So pretty much those who are on their flying laps. One of them is Tyler and Alan Ninja. Tyler, of course, he's not improving on his previous lap time, at least in that middle sector, I think. He didn't, and remember, or in fact, that's the first sector, that's not the middle sector, and he invalidated his second lap, and is now out on those brand new set of soft compound tire once again. As we try and find a driver who would lap and one man, that is CRN on their flying lap. He's the only driver in the session yet having not set a lap time on board. Ahead of him is one of the Red Bull drivers, I think that is one Kidney Jim, but he is not on a flying lap. One man who is on a flying lap, I believe Tyler is right ahead of him, but he just lets him by pretty much, just knew that he was not going to improve on his lap time and just let him by and start once again, as everybody's now going to be coming in to begin their flying laps and show up their times, because everyone now going to be starting on track. I think Tony, for the moment, he's clear, but it doesn't matter. He's still going to be on pole at the end of the session. What about this man? How fast does he go? He's coming across the last corner. Only P16, 134.5, so not that quick at least. And Kidney Jim now starts their flying lap as well. So P16, 134.5, as we try and have a look at one of the drivers who would also be on a flying lap, and that will be Devil Rejected at the moment. It's every single one almost out on that out lap, except for the top four, Tony Nimble, Alan Ninja, and AR Taylor. So one Kidney Jim, I think, is the one quicker and better lap time on, but also we try and catch up with everybody else who are just beginning their flying laps. Of course, everyone now wants to improve on their lap times and place their car in the best possible grid order, as we're now just 2 minutes now remaining in the session, and we already have a retirement from the session. I wonder if he's crashed or he's retired just in the pits. I think he's crashed, as we try and catch up with someone who would be close, but I think Devil Rejected is just coming across the last corner, and he's P17, 134.6. He's only P17, as I was just trying to have a look at someone who was going to be close to Johnny Red, who had crashed, but I could not find anyone. But one Kidney Jim still on that medium compound tire. I wonder, okay, so he's not on that medium compound tire, he's on that soft tire. Does he improve? And he goes P14 only. And what about Tyler? I think is right behind him, or it is Daddy Cool, in fact, and he did improve on his lap time by over 4/10, but still stays P9. So other drivers right behind starting as well. What about Anur Hassan? He is, in fact, going to be trying to look and improve on his previous lap time. Goes P6. So definitely pushes himself closer to the top guys. And Jezza Boy, did he improve? He's still P7, 133.6. And anyone close? That's, of course, right behind. Now many drivers coming across that finish line and finishing. It's going to be a bit hard to keep up with every single one of them, but we'll try our best, as most of them have invalidated their laps as well. It is one of the Ferraris coming up to that finish line, but I think that was Nimble starting their flying lap. What about the Mercedes, as we try and catch up with every single one of them, and it is only 6 seconds now remaining. So whoever comes across the line is going to be taking that checkered flag, and I think there's an Alpine coming across that, and it is only P18 for CRN. What about Devil Rejected? P19 for him. And the next one, it is the last few moments in qualifying, so every single driver is out on track and looking to catch up. What about Tyler? Is he the one improving at the moment? It is not. It is not him across close to that finish line. It is his teammate. How fast does he go? He's still 133.4. Does improve at P10 only. What about Adams? Devil Rejected teammate. Can he push himself into that top 10? Yes, he can, but P10 only. Anyone behind him can pip him, and he's pitting. One Kidney Jim is pitting. I don't know why is that, but he ends up pitting, maybe knowing that he does not have enough time in that car. What about the Ferrari? So Jazza Boy is also into the pits, but what about Ninja across the line? He's currently P4, takes a checkered flag, still stays P4, and Tony Hakkinen he goes even more faster, 131.4. What about, so it is not Hassan, but his teammate on an improving. It is Adams. He spun, and we see a Red Bull driver, Baton, improving, goes P14. as we try and catch up with one of the Mercedes, and it is, he's going just into the pits as well. So pretty much that's it for qualifying, as Tony Hakkinen has registered the quickest time for the moment, unless and until anyone could pip him. But for the moment, it is not looking like that he's going to be able to do so, as Sliwak takes the checkered flag in P14. So every single driver has taken the checkered flag, as few of them have retired from the session. I wonder if that is their poor driving or just retiring to get into the next session and proceed for the session, as Tony currently at the moment looking one of the quickest and fastest at this in terms of qualifying pace. He's surely clear, way clear ahead of everybody else, but it depends what we can do in the race and what we can see in the race. Of course, I'm sure you are as much as excited for the race as much as I am, as we just await a greater race performance from all these drivers. As we still have cars driving out on track. They all have taken the checkered flag, so I wonder what it's going to be. And we are on board with the man here, Tony, of course. Well, the one on top. He's really showing he's the one, and he's the one to look after tonight. He's surely done a great lap, an impressive one. Tony Hakkinen, the Italian, on top. 6.5 tenths, almost 7 tenths ahead of the driver in second place, with Nimble in third. So here's the qualifying order as we have a look at it. It is Tony Hakkinen in first, Nimble second, Johnny Reid third, Alan Ninja fourth, with Tyler fifth, Anur Hassan, Phoenix Gray, Jazza Boy, Jonathan and Adams completing that top 10. And also as the rest of the drivers follow, with Daddy Cool, Slewak, Danger Dave, Baton, Urma Dog completing that top 15, as we have a look at the rest of them as well. So almost 3.5 seconds gap to the driver in second, driver on pole and driver in last place. It's quite a big gap, but I'm sure we're going to be able to see more and more action as we proceed into the race. So we're now just waiting before we go and proceed into the lights out action. Let me try and find out if we're going to have a break before we go into the race action. I think sometimes there is a break after qualifying, but is it going to be any? Just try and have a look at that. And there we go, we're already seeing that pit lane and 5 red lights out, and someone's already into the wall. What has really happened? Drivers going into the wall, drivers getting penalties, already jumping the start. We're seeing chaos already. I don't know what has really happened, as some are going into the walls and some are really losing it all, and it is only 9 remaining. I don't know what has happened, really. Drivers retiring and only 6 of them remain, and in fact 5 of them remain. This is definitely going to be a chaos start, and definitely we're going to need a restart, definitely a lobby restart. But I wonder if that was the lobby problem of my problem, but I think it is going to be a lobby restart if this was for everyone else as well. This was definitely chaos. What did really happen is only one of them really just remaining, as every single one of them have DNF'd. So I don't know what really happened, to be honest, as everyone is...
Dean of 2 just followed.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow, everyone. As we just have a look at that, I kind of missed that. We're so close to our follower goal of 40 followers, as definitely that is going to be a great restart. As I was saying, it was ghosted on, but everyone started crashing, so I wonder if that was planned or just happened unfortunately. But we definitely have to be restarting Okay, so ghosting for qualifying is on. So there's a planned restart, of course. So it is going to be pretty much 5 minutes to the start. We'll just have to wait a little bit. Yeah, that makes sense. So 5 minutes to the start, pretty much a break. I think we'll have to leave the session as well. I don't know why I cannot do anything in this session for the moment before it proceeds. But of course, great qualifying. It was a great action qualifying. I'm sure it is going to be even better into the race. It shows me 20 seconds before I could pretty much leave the session, because for some reason it just doesn't let me do anything. So after a chaotic qualifying session before the race starts, we're just now starting and getting into a brand new lobby, as it was. So everyone's in here, so that means we just need to be readying up and pretty much beginning once again. So no more invites and no more, wasting some such time. If we begin right away from here, it is all 18, and if I'm not wrong, it was 20 drivers in that qualifying session. So I don't know what's really wrong, or just those two haven't picked up their team yet. That's why it shows 18. Because there was 20 drivers in that qualifying session, and of course, as now the grid would have to be set up for that quali session, for that race start and for that race session before we begin. There you go, 19 drivers. As I was saying, that it was all 20 on that grid, so maybe someone missing, but just one more driver missing now. I think they just should be in the lobby in a bit, or in fact they are. They just choose their team, and we go into racing action finally that we've been waiting for. We had a great qualifying. Tony Häkkinen, of course, on pole, and if I'm not wrong, he did win last week as well. So it is going to be 2 in a row if he does so this time. He's definitely done a quali lap, the qualifying lap, that he showed that he is definitely going to be the one on top and better than everybody out here. It is going to be, I'm sure, a great United States Grand Prix at Austin. It's in fact my first ever US Grand Prix commentating on. I've done so on a lot in the past, but not this specific track. So it is of course going to be a new experience, an exciting one for sure, with all these drivers doing their justice to their pace, to their talent and everything.
Horseman 212121 just followed.
Oh, thank you so much for the follow, man. I hope you're going to enjoy the stream as we're just about to go into the race. And we are now so close, only 3 more away from a follow goal of 40. Thank you so much to everybody who's been tuning into the streams. And hopefully enjoying the action that we provide So tonight we have this stream, and tomorrow pretty much at this same time we'll have another league race, another stream. But of course, for the moment, it is for us to focus on this one and produce and proceed with all these drivers racing, hopefully showing us the great action and performance on track to reflect on. And there you go, all 20 into the race lobby now. Hopefully we'll just be beginning in a moment now, as we're all awaiting a race start in a moment time. There you go, as all these drivers choose their cars, choose their teams that they're supposed to be driving for, and line up on that racing grid and be on their number that they qualified on, and get justice to their lap that they did. But it is gonna be, you never know who's gonna be on top. Anything could happen in the race, and anything could produce a result that we're not expecting. Definitely the chaos into turn 1 would have to be safe and would have to be looking at for us, but we'll have to see how all these drivers go through. I'm expecting a clean one, but maybe there's a chance, pretty much, maybe if the driver in second place, Nimble, trying to attack Hakkinen, there's a chance it could be creating chaos with everybody around the outside. It is a huge track, though, no walls around, so anything, maybe pushing off tracks and sending drivers off track. And there you go, 25 seconds and 20 seconds to the race now. Straight up we go into the race. And there we go, we're finally beginning for that race start and that race session. And hopefully now, cleaner start and cleaner performance that we want to have. Just 15 seconds now. 10, 9, 8. We'll let the timer to do its thing and end before to let us go into the race action and into the race session. It is only going to be as we're finally back on track and see all the pit lane and front wings for all those teams as we wait for all these drivers to ready up and be on top when it's lights out. And there we go, we're already seeing all these cars out on track and all these 5 red lights out. So we are not seeing Tony, the one who was supposed to be starting on pole, is on in last place, and everybody is crashing once again. I think we need one more restart because it has to be justice done to the man on pole. He's set up last on the grid for some reason. So that was definitely another, pretty much, I won't call it a blunder, but maybe some setting that didn't work out. So one more restart, that's what we can expect, because Just one car out on track, and just doing those donuts. Everybody else out from the session. Yeah, there you go. I was wondering, you know, same thing pretty much happening twice. So hopefully we go for that third time, and it should be clean, I think. Pretty much. And also Tony, the one on pole, was in last place, and I'm sure that was not supposed to be like that. So hopefully now, for the third time when we go lights out and racing, it is going to be a cleaner one, and a one that we go racing into. So we have podium drivers on the podium for the second time, but hopefully when we see the drivers on the podium for the third time, it is going to be at the end of the Grand Prix, unlike on lap 1. So and there we go. If the lobby settings are already set up, maybe we can start a bit early now, but hopefully just in a little bit it's gonna take and we start racing. And there you go, we're back into the lobby for the third time, and once again to go into that racing and track action. All 20 in the lobby, so hopefully the settings will be updated and up to the top, and definitely end at where they are supposed to be. So there you go, now everyone's readying up one by one, and I hope this time it is set it properly, and of course set it to the liking of everybody. Just 10 seconds now into the session. For the third time we go on that track to go racing. And there we go, once again, for the third time we're starting the race session, and that race that we've been waiting for since almost an hour now. But hopefully it is going to be beginning just in a few minutes time, as it is just last 20 seconds before we see some cars out on track once again. Cars on that grid, on that starting grid, eager to begin, eager to start. We finally see that pit lane once again, as hopefully now we'll be seeing all those cars on track, and the cars action as soon as possible. And there we go, it was 46 start time. It is 46 now, so we should be starting any minutes now. Because I'm sure everyone's been waiting for that start now. Let it be the drivers, let it be the drivers, let it be the ones watching. And now we have all 5 red lights once again for 3rd time in a row. Tony gets a good start, so does Nimble, so does Johnny. Let's have a look at that. Johnny's getting overtaken by Alan, definitely not a good start for him. As we see the cars back at the back as we just get that race start. It is clean start into turn 1, but all these, and there's a spin from one of the drivers. As we see this chaotic start, as I said, it is a huge hill down to 1 inch, and then we see a fight between Dangerous Dave and Daddy Cool. But we have a look at the bottom of the grid as well. I believe I saw a spin, and that is a move for 1 kidney on Slawak. Hey, they're still battling wheel to wheel. Right behind them is Adams coming at them as well. What about the bottom, as it is Betten now trying to fight with Adam Fleet into turn in on the inside. Is there is a chance for him to overtake him, and he does so. But does he make the move stick? He does make the move stick, and right behind him is Devil Rejected. He's coming at him as well. But is he going to be making the move successful? Is right behind at the bottom of the grid. It is also Urmadog trying to make a move on Tyrion. Is he going to make that move successful? And he does so. So do the McLaren drivers. Both of them now ahead of 1 kidney. It's not Kidney Jim, it is Betten. Still fighting out with Devil. He's still fighting out with Devil and trying to make it stay like that. He doesn't want to give up on that. None of them don't want to give up on this position. It is so much still fighting. They're still wheel to wheel, almost crashing, hitting each other. So we try and have a look at the details, and Tony Hagen already doing the fastest lap and already on that lap at the end of it. As we try and have a look at the tires, so we see tires change, we see mix of the starts of some on that medium, and there's a spin. I think Johnny Red has been spun by that Ferrari driver, if I'm not wrong, because they were fighting, and we see a spin already, and there is a yellow flag. He's definitely not going to be liking that, as the leader is already 3.1 seconds ahead of everybody else. But Nimble and Ellen, this fight's going to be close. Nimble, Ellen, Tyler, and Nur Hassan, they are super close, as Slawak gets a penalty already for that multiple warden. We're on lap 2 and definitely going to be seeing some battles, as the strategies are medium to hard and soft to medium for this 28 laps of racing. As we see, is there going to be a chance for Ellen on the inside? Does he make the move stick? On the inside he goes. The Ferrari's not giving up. Nimble's not going to give up easily. Ellen on those medium tires, a bit of an extra grip for the moment, and now he's another chance for it. None of them wants to give up this 2nd place. Of course, this is their best chance because the leader seems to have a lot of pace, but these guys need to utilize and perform to their according pace. But is Ellen still close? Is there going to be another opportunity for him? There could be, as it's going to be the main straight. As Ellen doesn't have much ERS left, as DRS is already enabled, and we see another spin maybe from someone, and it is Jazzaboy, and also another Red Bull, and that is 1 kidney Jim. As we see these guys battle it out, into turn 1 goes Ellen on the inside. He's coming back at him. Does he come in at him successfully? He does not for the moment. Ellen does take 2nd place on those medium tires, of course. Medium, cleaner, and more grip providing drivers, as it is Tyler in 4th place, as we see a beautiful helicopter shot with the leader already 6 seconds ahead, with these drivers fighting each other and also not having as much pace as the leader. But we try and have a look at the back of the grid as we see yellow flags, but anything close, and these guys are still close. They're fighting out from the start of the race. They're close, fighting for that P16 position. On the inside goes Betten. He does take the 16th place for the moment, but Sieran is coming back. Does he make it? Ahead of them is Jonathan and Adam and Fleetwood. Jonathan trying to go on the inside ahead of that Aston Martin driver. He does that make that move stick, but is he going to try and go for that McLaren as well? As Beckton now takes the position for the into the corner. For the moment he takes the position. Also one man who takes the position is Shane Bolin, who gets ahead, just gets ahead of Hassan as we try and look at these guys. So Nimble takes back that second place as we're trying to have a look at, and Tyler, we seem to miss that, but Tyler is already in that second place. This fight for second place is a bit more as everybody else is trying to improve and get ahead as well, but these guys are also pretty much in their own race. As on the inside, another chance for Ellen, but he just stays out of that podium place, of course. Yeah, Tony's just so good, pretty much, to say the least. Already 8 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, but surely the rest of the field is pretty much close to each other, as it is definitely. So these guys are here, the three of them, Tyler, Nimble and Ellen Ninja, definitely fighting for that second place. Anyone could take it. 9 seconds and he's on that medium tire. So as we see a move from Dangerous Dave on Shan Bolin. Shan Bolin showing some pace. He got ahead of Hassan, so he does of Dave as well. Oh, F7 Racing, thank you so much for that raid. Thank you. We're just into the race now as we had a few chaos starts, but now, and we restarted, it is greater and it is beginning to get better and better as we're already on lap 4 out of 28. Lap 5 in fact now, as the leader has started lap 5, but the rest of them have not. As we try and look at these three, they're still fighting, they're still close. If we try and get, there could be a chance for Nimble once again. So could be a chance for Ellen Ninja into turn 1 as well. Does he go on it? He does have a look at it, but he doesn't do so. It is going to be close on the exit for everyone, almost on their, almost on the rear wing of each other. Yeah, Johnny Red, he had a good start. He did, in fact, qualify good, but I think there was a moment, or in fact, or he lost it on its own. I seem to miss that, but I just saw a yellow flag, and he had spun, so he definitely lost all that progress, but he's trying to get back on that medium tire, but trying to get ahead of Slawak and take that last that's point finishing, that's point position. But is he going to be successful in that, as DRS is of course enabled, and he's super close to Slawak now. There could be a chance for him once again, and so for the moment he does so get into 10th place and recover of what he lost. But is he going to be able to keep it? Because it's, if Slawak manages to stay close and manages to stay within 1 second, he could be able to get him back with that DRS. And this fight between these two, Dangerous Dave and Shane Bolin, is also close, both on those soft compounded tires, so kind of in their own race and racing each other, because everybody else, if these guys are on these soft tires, they would have to be pitting earlier, and a lot earlier. As these guys, and I think Tyler's now trying to get the move done on Nimble, but he doesn't quite get it, as leader is already 13 seconds ahead. They still, I think Ninja seems to be having a little, falling a bit behind these to the position 3 and 4, but it is close between Nimble and Tyler. But it is going to be exciting, and I think as we have a look at the rest of the field, as Shane Bolin gets the penalty, so that kind of benefits Dangerous Day for sure, because they're almost racing each other, being on that soft compound tire, and others are also now just approaching behind. It's the whole grid from P5 to P11, at least P11 it is, the whole one fighting. And I see someone making a move on the inside, and it is Sean Bolin, but he's coming back at him. Dangerous Dave, does he let him keep the move? He does so for the moment. Yeah, Tony's really doing that Italian job. to be leading and almost making that gap. 14 seconds now. He's really in a race of his own and a lonely race. So still the B2, 2, 3, and 4 still same positions pretty much. The DRS train, but Nimble is still able to keep that second place without the help of DRS. And this man Tony, we haven't even had a look at him since he's had a great start and just only progressing. Whereas we try and look at these guys, and it is now close. It was only the two of them, Shane Bolin and Dangerous Dave at the beginning, but now it's more and more other drivers approaching. These guys are still the closest ones, and Alan now makes the move, and Tyler. And there is a crash. There is a crash at the back between Slawak and Johnny, I think, as we definitely seem to miss that. We try and have a look at... We try and get on board with One Kidney Team to see if we could catch what happened, as we see green flags already. Already Johnny Red, I think they crashed because both of them got DNF'd at the exact same time. Johnny Red and Slavak already out of the race. The two of them, of course there is no safety car, so we will not be seeing any of it. But it's great, just this straight shows who's close with each other, as we see a move from Phoenix Gray on Anar Hassan, and right behind them he's trying to make a move. Phoenix Gray trying to make a move. I think he lost a few positions. You can
Red Wildfire 96 just followed.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow, man. Johnny, I think we'll definitely need to confirm from him when there is Phoenix trying to make a move. But that doesn't quite become successful for the moment. Yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it. It's only getting better and better now. Oh, thank you so much. So as it stands, we're just one more follower away from a follower goal of 40. Hope all of you are enjoying this great Grand Prix. Racing as Phoenix has just gotten ahead of Hassan for the moment. It's now already on lap 8 out of 28. As Tyler is taking back that position, as we're trying to just have a look at others and at the back of the field. Tyler has taken back the position that he had lost to Alan. He's definitely having the pace, but Nimble now pulling away as well. Nimble kind of going into his lonely race as Alan now on the inside. He thought for a moment, he thought to go back, but he's made the move stick. So far he's keeping that. Of course they're on different strategies, one on medium and one on those hard compound tire, but of course everybody looking for that performance, looking to make their tires last as well, as Tyler just doesn't have that ERS. He still has 35%. Ellen, in fact, doesn't have it at all. He just has 10% on it. So it's going to be exciting to see if he's able to defend it. Is he going to be able to defend it with DRS, with Tyler behind, with the help of ERS? But for the moment, he is clear. In fact, he doesn't need any of it. He's showing his pace, and if he has pace, he could catch up to Nimble, or pretty much have a lonely rest of his, as the leader is already 17 seconds. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow it's going to be exciting as well. But this one, Kota, this is actually my first time commentating at this track, but this is great as well, as Devil just gets a 3-second time penalty. If you haven't heard from him the whole race, as it stands, he's currently in P12. He's pretty much keeping that position. He's a bit ahead of the cars behind. Yeah, thank you so much, as we just progress with the race. Already in lap 9, so it is Alan still keeping that third place. He's still keeping that last podium place as they fight for, of course. He's still keeping that for the moment, but maybe it could be just in a few moments he gets overtaken by Tyler because he doesn't have enough ERS at all, but still, lots of it, lots and lots of it. And also don't forget, he's going to be getting DRS as well. He goes a bit wide, that might needing for him to be losing a bit of time. And this is closer for that top 5. Round the outside, Phoenix trying to make that move. He does make the move stick. It's close between Shane Ball and he goes wide. He's pushed wide a lot. He's almost gets overtaken by Adams as well, as now Phoenix almost gets pushed wide. But he's making that move stick as Dangerous Dave is still staying in that top 5 and making his medium tires last for as much as he can, as on the inside Shane goes ahead of Phoenix Gray. Right behind them is Adams as well, who's trying to keep up with them, as Hassan is currently in P9 on that hard compound tire. As on lap 10 out of 28, everybody still making these tires last. No pit stop activity, even those soft tires, runners keeping that up. And I think there is a spin from an Alfa Romeo driver, and that is Orma Dog, currently in 18th and last place as it stands. So we try and get back to that action as these guys, Tyler has taken back that position. We were not looking at it, as I was just saying that it was only going to be moments before he was going to do that, because Alan Ninja did not have any ERS. As we have this, look at this fight, as Adams has taken 4th, 7th place. It is close. It is wheel to wheel between the two. Phoenix has kind of fallen behind, but these two are fighting. It's still wheel to wheel. One more chance. He again gets pushed wide. It is just close. It is no fault of anyone, pretty much just racing hard, racing fantastic. One more chance for Phoenix to come back at him. As also, so going wide was Adams. So another chance for Shane Boland to take back that 6th place. It's going to be close. We see another yellow flag, and pretty much that's going to be, I think, another spin from him. Is there going to be a chance for Phoenix to do that? He's driving, have a look at that podium place. Nimble is also in his own race, 2.7 seconds ahead of the pack, as the guys behind also catching up as this straight. As the bottom, we look at the last podium points. It is P9 and 10, Daddy Cool and Hassan trying to fight that out for the last few positions that of course they would want, and score as many points for their teams, respective teams, as they can. This great helicopter shot is fantastic to watch, really, on this track, as we try and get back to the bottom of the grid, or anything that is closer to each other. Lap 11, and he's there fighting. These guys are fighting. There's super defending going on. I think it was a few cheeky moves around the outside. Alan tries to have a go at him. His medium tires lasting for the 10 laps. So far it's good. Also those hard compound tire drivers would like to go a bit longer, as you try and look at these guys. Phoenix and Shane Bolin also having a fantastic race, as Adam, as it goes ahead, does Phoenix, as Adams just seems to be having a bit of more pace, and he's going to catch up to Dangerous Dave. They've already seen some kind of yellow flags, as it is going to be that same Alfa Romeo driver, as we see these guys fighting out. I think the main straight doesn't have that much action as much as does the middle sector straight and DRS zone, as Adams now overtaken by Dangerous Dave. I think Dangerous Dave into the pits already. Of course, his medium tires his soft tires definitely not going to be lasting that much. Shane also follows him as well. Both of them having that pretty much that same strategy as he goes on those medium tires. So it is pretty much going to be mediums to the end now, or if it's going to be a two-stopper. I don't think you're going to do a two-stopper. And these guys are also fighting out. A big goes wide, does Baton. There we go. We see a car spun, and that is... who is that? That is one of the Williams driver, I think, if I'm not wrong, because I saw a blue car on the minimap with a yellow flag on, as a lot of activity in the pits as we try and catch up with the pack, as these guys are still staying out. Of course, medium tire runners would like to go as long as possible, so would the hard tire runners, because I think if you could go about lap 16 or 17 closer to lap 20, you can pit for that soft compound tire to the end. We'll see what it happens. It is P8 and 9 for the Aston Martin drivers now. But as you've seen, activity in the pit lane, these guys are close. Baton, Ciaran, and Jezaboy it is. So Jezaboy on 11 lap old hard compound tires. And I think it is, he had a spin, I think, if I'm not wrong. And there's another yellow flag. Is there another spin from the drivers? And it is Adams. Fleetwood fighting Devil Rejected and all the other drivers. As Phoenix now Grey into the pits as well. What tires does he go on? I think it should be the hard tires if he's pitting at this moment in the race. And yes, that is going to be the hard compound tire going for him, as pretty much the activity in the pit lane we see. So the leader 22 seconds, almost the pits, almost a pit stop ahead now. He's pretty much chilling. He can in fact go for these on these medium tires at least till lap 20, and his pace for the moment is not affected at all. As Nimble's also 2.8 seconds to the car behind. Alan Ninja just pitting, and a great pit stop for him. He's only coming out behind Ada Adams, so it is a great one as others ahead of him pit. There is a good chance that he could end up being in second place and undercut. The chance of doing an undercut on Nimble is a chance, big chance as well. As drivers receiving penalties, and Shane Boland 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. I don't know what's happened, because is he racing someone? He seems to be close to Phoenix Grey, but I wonder if they were racing as he gets that time penalty. He's on the inside, he goes for it. He keeps that, but I think unless he does a miracle, that he's not going to be having points tonight. As we're already on lap 14, so exactly 14 laps remaining to the end. As you have a look at the drivers and try and find close drivers, as Hassan now into the pits. So he made these hard tires last 13 laps. There you go, those mediums on. So maybe some hard tire runners definitely made those tires run good. As we see activity in the pit lane, of course. Lots and lots of activity in the pit lane. As Phoenix now trying to go have a look at Shane Boland again. And there is a yellow flag, and I think someone has retired once again. But I doubt if this was a crash or a retirement in the pit lane. I think it might be a retirement in the pit lane, but I wonder why is a yellow flag caused by that. So out of 20, it is 4 drivers out and 16 remain. As we try and still find drivers close to each other, and it is close between these two for the moment. It is Shane Boland and Phoenix Grey. Shane Boland now try and save up, try and defend from Phoenix. He cannot do that. He's already ahead of him before they even get into the corner. And Shane, of course, with his penalty, what he can do is stop, defend against Phoenix Grey and delay his process of proceeding through the field. But still, as it stands, he's super close to Jezaboy, so a chance for him to overtake, chance for him to proceed through the race is a lot higher. As Adams now into the pits as well, so Tyler still staying out, as both Haas drivers have not pitted. So every single driver has pretty much pitted except the top 3, and then Daddy Cool and Jezaboy have not made a pit stop in the race yet, if I'm not wrong. As we try and have a look at yes, so they haven't really pitted, those few drivers. As we try and have a look at the tires for every one of them. It is 15 laps in out of 28. As drivers are receiving penalties again and again, of course, corners closer. As Allen finally into 4th place now, so that is going to be, in fact, there's a chance if Nimble now pits, he could end up, Alan could end up in second place, but it depends the gap. I think it is over 15 seconds, so maybe it'll be close between those. And it is close between these guys from P7 to pretty much P11. It is really close with every single one of them. And there's another chance for Shane Boland to get ahead as Phoenix Gray pitted. And Shane Boland now goes on the inside of Jezeboy to take that 7th place. For the moment at least, as he has a penalty, as Adams now coming back and back at him as well. It is hard for Jezeboy now to defend, as right behind them is Phoenix as well. Phoenix coming out of the pits, and closer is Jezeboy fighting with these guys on these older hard tires with no grip at all. He loses another position, does Jezeboy. He's not pitting at this point, but I think he might need to just in a little bit, because his tires are going to run out of grip and run out of that track performance that everyone needs. But it kind of just a DRS rain. But Jezza now moving to that inside line, but Adams now also moving to that inside line to take 6th place ahead of Shane. Of course, that is the track 6th place on track anyways. That was going to be 6th place if he's going to stay behind him with that penalty, with all the penalties that Shane has. But I think sure he would like to do it on track. It is more fun to do so. Alan in 3rd place. He has jumped and done the undercut on Tyler that he was going to do by pitting early. We're already on lap 17 out of 28, so 11 laps pretty much to the end. Nimble now, I think you could expect to pit, and the leader comes into the pits and he's pitting for that soft tire, as I was saying that he could take up his medium tires to pretty much laps 17 and 18. You'd be able to do that because his pace is not really affected. As Nimble now also into the pits. We'll have a look. Where is Alan? Where is Alan Ninja? Is he going to jump? Nimble ahead of him. Nimble now out of that pit box. It's going to be close on that start. Not only between him. Is he going to come out ahead? What's going to be the situation? It is going to be close between these guys. And he has in fact exited right behind Alan. So Alan has jumped, undercut both Tyler and Nimble by pitting a bit early. But these guys behind him have a 4-lap brand newer tires now. As you try and have a look at the bottom there as well. So these guys are close. Both Red Bull drivers, One Kidney Jim and Betten, close to each other. But let's have a look at the penalties of these drivers, as I think a lot of them as 22 seconds of penalties. So only 6 seconds to Devil Rejected and 3 seconds to everyone else except for Shane Boland. So pretty much Shane is not going to be keeping his position anywhere he finishes unless he's your race as fast as the race leader, who's almost he's 20 seconds ahead. So unless he's that, he's not going to be keeping his position that he does. As we get back that tire information once again, the leader on that soft compound tire, and these guys we're having a look at, Jonathan and Devil Rejected fighting for P11. Just ahead of them is Daddy Cool. As it is close between Shane Boland and Phoenix Gray. Once again, Shane is pretty much doing favor to his teammate to defend as much as he can and let other constructors pick as less points as possible, because of course his teammate currently in 3rd place. Oh, so that means he's already been overtaken by Nimble, because Nimble